Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for a Hot Toys special event tour. That's right, sit back, relax, maybe grab yourself a cup of tea, cause Ryan Kirkwood and I are about to walk you through the awesome Spidey themed event that's going on in Hong Kong right now. Now I do have to say a huge thank you to Ryan, who went out in person, snapped the gorgeous high-res pics and the awesome footage that you are now currently watching. Now, Hot Toys are known from time to time to host these events at their various stores, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there in person, but the next time they do one of these, I do plan to be. And if Howard Chan is there, I'll ask him a few questions that I know we've all got sitting in the back of our minds. We want to know some Hot Toys gossip, and I plan to get it for you. But for now, we're here to talk new figures, potentially some teasers for what is coming up next for the No Way Home line, starting off with a potential reissue of Infinity War Doctor Strange. Now, I've said this for the longest time, this makes perfect sense for the No Way Home line. It's been a while since we last saw a Doctor Strange release, all the way back with Infinity War, to be exact. This time they can give us the same head sculpt, same accessories, I'm totally fine with that, but a newly updated paint application process on the head sculpt. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't use the same paint and technologies that they were using back when they did the first one. That's evidenced by the fact that we saw the black and gold suit using the same head sculpt as upgraded suit Spidey, but the paint application process was improved within the same year. So I'd expect the same with Doctor Strange. The outfit looks fantastic as always. I mean, who am I kidding? This is literally an Infinity War Doctor Strange they've popped in this display, but it makes sense for him to be there. And for those of you who are new to collecting, No Way Home, I'm sure will break all kinds of records for ticket sales, for viewing numbers. So yes, I'm sure new collectors will be introduced to the hobby. They'll be looking for Doctor Strange. It makes total sense for Hot Toys to want to capitalize on that. In fact, it makes so much sense that I was thinking they were going to make this guy as a movie promo and have him out around the same time as the movie. And yeah, you can very clearly see he still doesn't have split-cut boots. I'm hoping that's a change they make on the fly, and we'll see that if and when this guy ever goes up for pre-order. And please, Hot Toys, ditch the awful diamond display bases. You're not doing yourselves any favors by still using them. They are truly horrendous. I don't know why you keep using them, they just simply don't work. Now, of course, we do have a full figure preview video available on this gorgeous integrated suit Spidey. I love it. It's very clearly the centerpiece to this display, not just because it's physically and literally in the center, it's because it draws the eye. It captures the imagination, there's so much going on the base, it makes total sense for it to be there. It's a showstopper for sure. Now, we do have a figure preview video live currently for this battling version of Spidey, who is up for pre-order. If you do want to grab him along with integrated suit, the links, as I said, will be down below. But yeah, to quickly wrap up the TLDR, if you will, on battling Spidey, I'm all for it. I love the way he looks. It's about damn time we got a battle-damaged version of Spidey. Now, this was a bit of a shock for some people, specifically because we just saw the release of Venom from the 2018 film. This is kind of like a soft reissue. We'll call it a 1.15. It's not quite a 1.5, it's not quite a 2.0. It's the exact same body, the exact same display base, most of the same accessories, except you get a new added metal pipe, which is actually made of plastic, of course. You get a bunch of tendrils, and you are getting the awesome half and half Venom Eddie Brock head sculpt that came with Carnage, the deluxe version specifically. For those of you who are grumpy about this, let me put it to you this way. if you have the first Venom, you don't need to get this one. You can get Carnage Deluxe, and you can get this head sculpt. If you don't have the first Venom, then there's no reason to complain, because you can now get this one. You get the best of both worlds, you're not really missing anything, and you get this head sculpt. And for the third option, if you're peeved because you got Deluxe Carnage and don't have a Venom, and now you're thinking, well, I'm wasting my money with Deluxe Carnage, I'm getting this head sculpt here. Potentially that might be true, but you're also getting a bust, so you can sell off your second Eddie Brock head sculpt and use the bust to display the smiling one, or the one with the tongue hanging out. You've got a ton of options. So in all aspects, I think this is perfectly serviceable, and I love that they gave collectors the option to get this guy, because the first one is selling out very, very quickly, and he was getting quite expensive. So yeah, I for one am happy that we are seeing another version of Venom, even though it's relatively similar, if not almost exactly the same as the one that we just saw. Now, the biggest surprise, quite literally, because this is a quarter scale display, were the 3/4 scale Spideys. It shouldn't really have been that big of a surprise, because I've said time and time again, Hot Toys need to get their money's worth out of that new quarter scale Spidey body, but let's talk about them. The first of which is the black and gold suit. If you haven't already, pause this video and go and watch my review of the 1/6 scale one. It is awesome. And this is that same exact suit scaled up to quarter scale. There is so much surface detail here, and the tech patterns and the gold web lines and the various little magical markings. It lends itself, quite honestly, to being a bigger figure. There's a larger canvas for you to appreciate all that detail. I mean, literally, just look at it. You can see all of that intricate scripture on the outfit so much better. This guy was designed to be made in quarter scale. Now, I don't know if Hot Toys are going to make this guy. It all depends on the reception of this particular suit in the movie. If it's lackluster, if it doesn't really do all that much, if it's the upgraded suit turned inside out like a lot of people think it is, then maybe this guy is not the best bet for a quarter scale release. Because quarter scale is like the Bugatti of the collecting world. This is the creme de la creme, the ultimate that Hot Toys can give you. And to give a suit that doesn't really have a ton of awe-inspiring moments in the movie that treatment, it's a little bit questionable, so we'll have to wait and see when the film actually comes out. However, that being said, I would be all over this release. I love the 6 scale so much that I just want more. I want more Spidey, and quarter scale is literally giving you that. You are getting more Spidey. He's physically a lot larger. Quarter scale figures I treat as the centerpiece to your display. 1/6 scale figures make up the bulk of our collections, I know, but quarter scale is another realm entirely. And the best part is, there aren't currently a ton of them, so you could very easily complete the line, and these are showstoppers. It also appears as though this head sculpt is made of the same fabric as the suit itself, so there shouldn't be any texture mismatch between the head sculpt and the suit. Not that there was with the 1/6 scale version with the sculpted head anyway, but it's just something to be aware of. You can see the stitching seam along the side of his head. It's a little bit more visible than what we saw with the likes of Tech Suit Spidey, upgraded suit in quarter scale, which we're about to talk about, and integrated as well. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'd still rather, with this larger scale, it to be made out of an accurate material, which in this instance is actually material. He also appears to come with the bracer, the same magical style effects that we saw from the 1/6 scale version, and as of yet we don't know what else. A Tom Holland head sculpt perhaps, maybe an all new one, maybe a half and half masked one. It's all speculation. If and when this guy goes up for pre-order, I will put the links down below, and I'm pretty sure we'll do an updated figure preview video showcasing all of the accessories that he's bound to come with. Now, this wasn't the only quarter scale figure in the display, of course. Already live on the channel is the advanced figure preview video on the quarter scale integrated suit, the mash-up between Iron Spider and upgraded suit. I love the way this suit looks, even more so in quarter scale, and I think it actually stands the strongest chance of being released out of the 3 quarter scales. It's the flagship suit of the movie. It seems to be the suit that he gets in maybe the final battle. I don't know how it comes to be, but it's badass. It combines the red and black color scheme. You've got the legs from Iron Spider, that big honkin' gold chest logo. It stands out. It has a presence in the display, so I'm pretty sure that this one is going to happen. But then again, if it doesn't, that's typically what Hot Toys tends to do, tease us and then not quite follow through. Now, I am hoping that they ditch these god-awful diamond display bases. They don't work. For quarter scale, they look even worse. But last up, we do have another quarter scale figure, being the upgraded suit. This guy is glorious. It's that black and red that we all love, and yeah, that horrible diamond display base. Please, Hot Toys, never again. Don't use it. It simply just doesn't work. The fabric of this suit looks awesome, just like the tech suit Spidey, except this time the black material does have a ton more texture, just due to the nature of the size of the fabric that needs to be used here. That is why I love quarter scale so much, because when you shrink something down to 1/6 scale, the details also have to be shrunk down. If you think about it, a t-shirt, for example, in 1:1 scale, that fabric, the weave is too thick for it to be accurate in 1/6 scale. You need to use a much finer weave of fabric to make it look realistic. So that's the same thing that needs to be done for 1/6 scale figures. They shrink everything down. Whereas with quarter scale, they don't need to do it as much. It's much closer to a real life representation of the suit. And that's why I'm all in on quarter scale. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's the creme de la creme of Hot Toys. It's the best that they have to offer. It's their flagship product. And yes, they're pricey. And yes, they take up a ton of space. But trust me, once you get your first quarter scale figure, you will be hooked immediately. They are that impressive. Plus, the body that they use on this particular Spidey, same as the Homecoming one, is incredible. It's super lifelike, the definition for the muscles are there, it looks like a dude in a suit, the proportions are on point, and finally, with the quarter scale Spidey, they nailed the shape of his head. You can see a slight bump out for the definition of the ears. It's not too big, it's not too narrow, it's not too tall. It's the perfect shape, and I think we can all unanimously agree on that. It looks, quite frankly, and I'm sorry I have to say this, amazing. Yes, pun intended, because it is Spidey. Nevertheless, do let me know what you think of all 3 quarter scale Spideys that they had on display at this event, and we will be covering it as the story does develop. If they add new figures into the display, we will let you know. I'm hoping to see a couple of villains, but stay tuned to the channel. Once again, a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood. If and when this stuff goes up for pre-order, check out the link down in the description below to head over to toyswonderland.com with their 12-month installment plans and their awesome reward system. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.